Brandon Criss is with us. He is a Siskiyou County Board of Supervisor member, a Republican representing District 1. The website co.siskiyou, siskiyou.ca.us. And Brendan, first of all, Brandon, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for joining us. Back 80 years ago, your county tried to secede from California, and then that effort got derailed by World War II. Looks like you guys are going to take another shot at it.
We are, and there's been a historical precedence for this. Back in 1992, there was a vote through California among several counties, and 27 out of 58 counties said they wanted to split the state of California. They felt it was ungovernable.
Right. I think that I have been calling for breaking up states for a long time, and I'm on the liberal end, you're on the conservative end. I think you might find some unlikely allies and maybe even able to make it a movement if you were to go a little larger on this, if I may be so presumptuous as to offer you just a suggestion. And that would be to say, New York City has, 15 million people? That's bigger than most states. It should be its own state, and then let the rest of New York be a second state.
Sure.
Florida, southern Florida, the Miami area, has more people in it than all but about 6 states. Separate that and let the rest of Florida be a separate state. Separate Texas into 2 states, East Texas, West Texas. One gets Dallas, one gets Houston. Separate California into 3 states. Let Southern California become its own state. Let Central California up to San Francisco become its own state. And let Northern California become its own state. If you were to do that, each one of those states, each one of those areas would then have 2 senators. You would have far more equal representation in the United States Senate of the American electorate. You would accomplish the secession that you're trying to accomplish with the northern part of California. And actually, a lot of liberals would be up for that because there would be Southern California and New York City would almost certainly be liberal senators, although the rest of New York State would probably be a conservative senator. South Florida might be conservative, the rest of Florida, who knows? I mean, who knows how it would play out, but it would be a more representative America. What do you think?
It definitely would be. That vote back in 1992 was for 3 states in California. Mm-hmm. So you got 27 counties here that agree with your idea. That is something we need to bring about. When California was created, President Polk said it was just too large to even consider to be a large state. And in my county, Siskiyou County, and the neighboring Modoc County, we're the size of the state of Vermont. So we do have other counties are now jumping on board. Modoc County will be voting in a couple of weeks. And Redding, California, which is the largest city north of Sacramento, they put it on their agenda, too, in the next couple of weeks to vote on.
Right. But the reality is, in terms of parliamentary process, counties can vote to secede all day long, but you're going to have the state assembly and the state senate by majority votes support you. And then, on top of that, once that has happened, you're going to have the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate by majority vote go along with you. What do you think the chances are?
It depends on the balancing act. If it happens in different states, Republicans will want some to counter Democrats will want some to counter a Republican. It'd be just like in the 1850s when they were bringing about new states. It was pro-slave and anti-slave senators for
the Missouri Compromise.
Yeah, the Missouri Compromise.
Yeah, that's why I'm suggesting that you guys ought to think big and try to make this a national movement and try to find alignment or alliances with people in Florida and New York State, certainly New York City anyway.
You're right.
In Texas, in Southern California, who would agree with this. And I don't know if there's any other states that are so big that they probably should be broken in 2. I can't, maybe arguably Chicago should be separated from the rest of Illinois.
Yeah.
But it would make America, I think, frankly, more governable. I think it would give more people who feel like they don't have a voice, particularly in the United States Senate, which is a very, very powerful body. And, who doesn't like more senators and more representation?
That's it. Now, there used to be a time, Phillips County, Colorado, had presented an idea that each county have a representative in the state legislature.
Right.
And California used to do that. We voted for it 5 times. The whole population in California since the 1920s, to the Supreme Court and Reynolds v. Sims and those court cases, the one-man, one-vote decisions.
Right.
The people of California voted for senators more or less by county. No senator could. There was 40 state senators in California. No senator could have more than 3 counties, and then no county could have more than 1 senator. So Los Angeles County had around 30 state assemblymen in the assembly, but only had 1 state senator, and then the rural areas were able to be a checks and balances is what you really need.
Right, and what you just described with Los Angeles County is the same thing we're seeing in the U.S. Senate with, you've got Wyoming and Vermont and Oklahoma. I mean, you've got states with 600,000 people, 800,000 people, 1.5 million people who have 2 senators, and then you got California, which is, 37 million people now or something like that? What's the population?
38 million people.
38 million? With 2 senators. That's crazy.
It is. And it's hard to even get state representatives, the state governor or the state senators even come up to Siskiyou County. They don't come up at all.
Right, because
there's not enough votes.
Yeah, not enough votes. Why bother?
And what's frustrating is the urban areas pass laws that make sense in urban areas, but they just don't make sense in rural California.
Oh, and I remember the one thing I was thinking that I knew I was missing a state. The other one that I would suggest adding is Washington, D.C. There's 900,000 people in Washington, D.C. We're bigger than Wyoming and Vermont. And we have no United States senators, and we have 1 representative who does not have the power to vote. And so give statehood to D.C., and then break up those states like I've laid out. And if you said statehood to D.C., you would instantly have, 500,000 allies. I mean, this is a big deal here. Our license plates in D.C. say taxation without representation. That's how PO'd people are here.
No, I think we do need, we can't just be thinking about our own local area. You're right. We have to be thinking nationally on this issue.
You would find a lot of us on your side. I think that you would find some real serious coalition forming going on. Of course, on the other hand, you're going to get a lot of opposition from probably your 2 senators who like being the only 2 senators. I don't know.
I know there's some argument. They say, well, if there's more than 100 senators, it'll be dysfunctional in D.C., but
no.
There was a time there was only 26 senators.
Sure.
So
sure,
it's always grown.
No, that's crazy. Down. I mean, the largest parliament in the world is the Democratic Parliament is India's. And I think they have over 700 members, and they get things done. I mean, they're starting to kick our butt economically right now. They can get some things done. So it's not the size, it's the quality. And I think that if the elected body, if the representative body actually represents the people, then they have a strong incentive to get things done.
They do. You'll have a higher voter turnout and everything.
Yeah. And so they have a much stronger incentive to be responsive to the people, to all the people, not just, the large population areas, particularly as we see this kind of rural-urban divide exacerbated in the United States. So,
it is.
Brandon, I was sort of half expecting to debate you because we're politically on just absolutely opposite sides of the aisle, but I'm with you. And
thank you.
I wish you the best on this. Keep us up to date on how it works out, okay?
Oh, that we can do.
Okay, Brandon Criss, he's with the Siskiyou County Board of Supervisors. Do you have a website for this beyond the Siskiyou.ca.us?
Yes, jeffersonstate.com.
Jeffersonstate.com. Thank you very much, because you want to name the new state the state of Jefferson, right?
That's right.
In honor of Thomas. Sounds like a fine idea. Brandon Criss, thanks for dropping by, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Good talking with you. We'll be right back.